when you're on attack, when I was trying to tell you to go to the right and triple blink, this is what I meant. So, what I wanted you to do is come here, probably a double blink would be enough, and do this. You see?
Oh, okay.
Now,
Yeah.
you just get to do this. Now, think about how you set up before. Imagine when your Zarya was walking in, you are here already, and you have full blinks, full health, full everything, and you're already here. So if there's someone sat here, you shoot them. If there's not, you just do one blink, shoot them. You can go away whenever you want to, and you'll have more blinks because you didn't spend any blinks to get there. So this, you can do much more from. What you did was this. This is not as bad, but what you ended up doing is spending all your blinks, and then by the time you get here, you don't have any blinks left to actually fight, because you need blinks to win the fight. Because you can, you're so much harder to hit with blink. If you don't have blink, you're actually quite easy to kill. So what happened is you spent your blinks to get here, and then when you actually wanted to shoot, you didn't have any blinks, and they killed you instantly. So the way you combat that is do this, go this route. Alternatively, what you probably should have done is do what you did, but actually do it more slowly. So as in, maybe go here, shoot this Orisa, maybe force like one of her cooldowns. Then I get she was gold, which is fine. But whilst you're waiting for your blinks to come back, you might as well shoot something, you know. And then once you've got your blinks back, then you can maybe spend one to come here, and then then you've got all your blinks again. So that's fine too. And what you ended up doing is, so I was watching you, and you were just standing in this doorway, shooting for a while, and your gun does like almost no damage at this range, like almost nothing. And then the moment, and all I wanted you to do is just take, because your Zarya was here, and you were just doing nothing here, and all I wanted you to do was simply just go like that, and shoot from here, and make them choose, because you can shoot, if it gets too much, you literally just do this. And also, if you want to be fancy, I'm pretty sure you can do that. So Tracer's got a lot of vertical mobility, because if you blink onto something like that, you actually go up it, and you only actually need to use one blink, so you can actually do that. Then you're up here anyway. So you got 3 different ways of taking the point here. I'll tell you how you decide which one to use. The one on the left is probably the weakest. That's probably the weakest one. This one's the strongest one if they don't punish you. But if you have this and you find that there's like a Cassidy and a Break waiting for you to do this, then it's probably not going to work, right? So if they have that, like they did, then you would just choose this one instead. See the difference? So every time you go into a game, you should be thinking about the map in your head and how you're gonna approach it. At the end of the day, the objective is not to kill people; it's to get the payload to the end. So if they're gonna allow you to push it for free, then you should take it. Because the only you can't set up from here. If you set up from here, it's not gonna end well. The only way you can really set up is from back here. So the best play is probably to just push the cart along here until it gets to like here. Then you can actually set up on the high ground, because then you can just do 2 blinks. And now this is a bit more, because there might be some people sat here you can fight. If they're still over here, that's great, because your tank will probably end up walking up on the lift, and as your tank walks up, you can come in and collapse on them, stuff like that. But coming up here when they're there, it's going to result in your death every time. Coming from here is a lot better, because if they're here, it means you can collapse on them. If they're here, it means you can shoot them. If they're all up here and you're alone, then obviously you shouldn't do it. But you time it in a way where your team walks. So if your Zarya is walking up the elevator, you wait for her to walk up the elevator, and then as she starts crossing this bridge, they're all going to look at her. Then you come up here, go for a pulse, whatever you want. Another option for this map, if they're not playing so much high ground, if they're playing like back here, so you should, because there was a point where they were playing here. So at the start of the second point, they'll play the high ground, but towards the end, they might be back here. If that's the case, your best bet is going through here, taking this kind of angle. So do you remember when the Ana was sat here? Yeah. And you triple blinked into her? And I mean, it was the end of the round, and you had to touch and stuff, I get that, but what you ended up doing is this. You had no blinks to fight her, you only had time to shoot 1 clip. Because you didn't have blinks. The blinks would buy you time. So if you had your blinks, you could have blinked in, shot, blinked a little bit, shot more. But instead, you had to leave because you didn't have any blinks. So better off is taking this kind of flank here, and just pressuring from here, pressuring from here. If you see a kill that you can finish off, you can just quickly go out, finish it, go back. So you can play that flanky style, but if you're in a moment where it would take too long to take a flank, then you take an off angle. Does that make sense? So if you have time to set up, you should flank. If you don't have time to set up, you should take an off angle. So in this situation where you were you didn't really have time to take a flank because the fight was already happening. There was like 20 seconds left. Everyone was shooting each other. The fight's already begun. You don't have time to take a flank. So instead, you take an off angle. So an example of an off angle would be here. Then the monkey's here. There was a monkey here, right? And an Anna here, right? And what you did is just TP here, used all your blinks, and then left, did nothing. Instead, you probably should have used one blink, go to the off angle, then you got a choice. You can pressure the monkey, or you can pressure the Anna. And then, even if you don't kill the Anna, or shoot her, she knows you're there, and she's got, like, a think in her mind about you. So, there'll be times where she has to heal someone, but she won't be healing because she's hard scoping this, or looking at this corner, waiting for you to peek. And in that time, your teammates can kill someone. So sometimes just being a presence there is enough to get value. If she just knows that there's a tracer hiding around the corner next to her, that's going to make her panic, especially if you're shooting her. So when there's no flank available, you take an off angle, okay? Another off angle could have been this as well, because you have cover, but you can also shoot them. That's perfect. So don't be afraid to just blink to. It's perfect, especially if they're like, if your team's here and you blink to this off angle, then they've got to choose. They can either turn around and shoot the tracer and get beamed by a Zarya, or ignore the tracer and get beamed by a tracer. You see? There aren't many flanks. The only flank is going all the way around there. That's a really long flank, and you don't really want to be taking, because if you're taking too long to flank, it's just time that you're not shooting, time that you're not doing damage. So instead, it's probably better to go on an off angle here. So I'll give you an example. If the gate's just opened here, and they want to hold here for some reason, you would just blink to something like this and hide behind it, shoot, shoot. Then they'll back off. When they back off, then they're going to be somewhere around here. Now you have an off angle here, shoot here, yeah. When they back off to this corner, then you're probably going to move here, shoot them here. So you see, so they're going to be doing this, so they're looking this way. They're always going to be looking frontwards. So whilst they're looking here, you're going to be here. Whilst they're looking here, you're going to be here. Whilst they're looking here, you're going to be here. You see how the attention's never on you?
Yeah.
And then when it gets to here, like when they're looking here, you're going to be here. Or you're going to be here. Here. When they're looking here, oops, you're going to be here. Always. Notice how I'm always in cover. Yes, I'm on an off angle, but yes, I'm flanking them, but I'm flanking in a way where they can't actually shoot back, because if they do, so they have to make a choice to shoot me or the front line. If they do choose to shoot me and they ignore the front line, then I just do this. Simple. And then when they start looking at the front line again, I'll come back and peek more. And if they chase me, I'll blink to the next off angle. If they chase me more, I'll blink to the next off angle. You see?
Yeah. So it's, but always keep an off angle if you can.
Yeah. You want to control. It's almost like you're playing tank, but you're controlling space, because whilst you're here, they can't play how they want to play. Because if they do, because the Anna would love it if she was just sat behind here healing everyone. But if she's got a tracer here threatening her, she can't do what she wants to do. And that's what you want to be doing. And there'll be there's always an off angle, you just need to find it. Even if that, like, you'll see it in like high rank games where like people are using like just like a tree or a trash bin just to like hide. Like even this, like you could even like argue like this is like cover. Like you'll see people like playing around things like this just to like not get shot. And you should do that too, because it's actually really strong. So I think that's what I wanted to say. I want to see you go into another game now.